Hey, got another action figure review coming at you here, and I think the action figures I'm going to show you right now embody the best of the 6-inch price to own scale figures that you can get. I'm not talking about those uncanny valley super realistic figures that are $200 or $300 a piece. I mean, these are price to own 6-inch figures that are just extremely well done versus some other brands that don't make very good figures. I couldn't wait to open this one, so I went ahead and opened it, and this is the packaging. This is Chell, and it's pronounced Chell like cello. That's her name, Chell. She's the silent hero in Portal 2, and this is just a fantastic action figure. The box was a little bit damaged because I bought it at dirt cheap, but I'm going to try to peel off that portal here, the plastic one in here. That might be a good thing to display behind her. It says, "Quiet and resourceful, Chell remains one of Aperture's most secretive and mysterious test subjects. Luckily, we were able to talk to one of Chell's former co-workers who assured us that she was Chell's closest, well, why beat around the bush, only friend. When asked for 3 words that best describe Chell, our anonymous source decided on monster, uncaring monster, and generously proportioned monster." Now, let me give you my background on Portal 2. I was introduced to Portal 2 by the fantastic Lego version of Portal 2 that you can play on Lego Dimensions. And I want to just do a quick blurb about Lego Dimensions. If you haven't bought a set, now is the time. They are super cheap. You can go to Ollie's or any number of the closeout stores and grab yourself a whole starter set with a Batman or one of the other franchises and take it home and start playing. You can find a lot of the figures in the clearance sections, or you can find them on eBay and Amazon, and you can build up your collection and play all of the levels. Lego Dimensions is a fantastic game that introduced me and Mary to a lot of really cool franchises like Adventure Time, Portal 2, and there's also this really, really good Doctor Who game on it. There's a really good Back to the Future game on it. It's just amazing, all of the stuff that was put into this thing that didn't last long, sadly, but gave us a lot of fun games and a really very cool collection of unique minifigures, including this Chell, and I think this is the only Chell Lego ever made. And let's look at the 6-inch Chell with the light up portal gun here, and you can either flash it or you can press the button and it will stay lit. It looks beautiful. The details are just amazing. Her articulation is on par with a Marvel Legends. She has ball jointed head, ball hinged shoulders, ball hinged elbows, ball hinged wrists, a very good swivel torso that has a lot of range of movement in it. Ball hinged knees, and she has her spring loaded boots on, so not any articulation in the ankles, but that's okay. She does come with a stand, so you can display her really well. This will display, it's in the same scale, so it'll display right next to your Marvel Legends, your DC Multiverse, or your Star Wars 6-inch figures. So I really am glad to own this one. It was very cheap at Dirt. I bought this at Dirt Cheap, where it was extremely cheap. I saw the same figure at Books A Million for, it's on clearance right now for $20, but it's still cheaper than a lot of other things. But if you have a closeout store, you might be able to find one. I really love this figure. I didn't know anything about Portal 2 until I played the Lego Dimensions game, and it's Lego, so it's kind of a funny version of Portal 2, but it was still a lot of fun. And once I figured out what was going on, it was pretty cool. So, the next figure I want to show you is another one I picked up at Dirt Cheap. and it was super duper cheap. I mean, they're practically free at this point. But you could find these at Five and Below. You can find them at dirt cheap. You can find them basically the Last Jedi wave, the Solo wave, some of the Rogue One wave, Black Series are just beyond affordable. I mean, they might even pay you to take it home. So, but this is still a good looking figure, and I did like Oscar Isaac in Star Wars, and I thought he was one of the best parts of the whole sequel trilogy. And it says Captain Poe Dameron. It takes a defiant courage to stare down the threat of the First Order, and while Captain Poe Dameron is eager to fight, he worries that some in the Resistance leadership don't have what it takes. And I think, I don't even know if I even want to go there. I think those of us who've seen The Last Jedi know the story behind that, and might be a little bit upset with the Poe Dameron that we were given in that movie, who went from the the swashbuckling hero to something else in Last Jedi. But take Poe out, and he's a pretty simple figure as far as what you get. It kind of reminds me of Han Solo, the way he's dressed. He's got a new leather jacket because, as we know, he gave his old leather jacket to Finn. He has this, I never liked this style of blaster. I don't like it at all. I miss the old Blastech blasters we had in the original trilogy. This is, I just never liked this, but this is Poe's blaster. As a matter of fact, I didn't like any of the blasters that we saw in the sequel trilogy. They looked like they were like they'd regressed from what we saw in the original movies. Like they were kind of ugly and clunky looking, and they didn't look sleek or futuristic, and you would think they would. So Poe's got a patch on his leather jacket with the Resistance or Rebel Alliance or whatever you want to call it. It's a soft rubber on the jacket. You can see his gun belt, and it's cool. They have the tie down. That's actually a separate piece. It's cool. Let's see how well the blaster fits. I think it looks pretty good like that. You could probably also do a cross draw if you wanted to, but I think it actually looks a little bit better with just this way. You can put them in a quick draw pose, which kind of fits. They gave him some stubble, but they only gave it. They didn't do it on the mustache there, so it looks like he just has like a 5 o'clock beard, not like the whole 5 o'clock shadow. But I will say that it looks more like Oscar Isaac than the original the action figures that were released when The Force Awakens first came out. They had such a bad job capturing Oscar Isaac that I almost wondered if he didn't allow his facial his likeness to be used. But this clearly looks like Oscar Isaac. In my opinion, the Star Wars 6-inch figures are pretty high standard. And they're on par with Marvel. The problem, and I think I've said it in a lot of my videos, the problem was the sequel trilogy didn't give us a lot of good action figure characters. It gave us a lot of drab looking characters, a lot of drab looking costumes. It wasn't as colorful and as bright as the other Star Wars movies. So, because he's just quite brown. Sort of an Indiana Jones looking character. I mean, if you put a hat on him, he could almost be Indiana Jones. The articulation is good and smooth, and you can pose him pretty well. I only have 3 other Star Wars 6-inch figures that are out of the box. And this is it. I have a Luke Skywalker, which I really like. Kind of testing the lightsaber. This is my Luke Skywalker. This is the Luke Skywalker I grew up with, not the guy we saw in The Last Jedi. I have this. Well, I have the Hoth Imperial at Commander. I like this one a lot. I always kind of struggle to get this body armor on. It doesn't want to go on very well. But he looks good. He has two. You can put two hats on him. He has this helmet. And if you recognize him, this is the same actor who was in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, as well as Game of Thrones. I'm trying to remember his name. His last name is Glover. And so you have two configurations. You can take the body armor off. And then you can have him straight up in his Class A Imperial Officer uniform. I think his name is Veers. Captain Veers, maybe? I might be mistaken. He does come with this blaster that's actually strapped down in the holster, which is really, really nice detail. And you can see the details on the blaster. We never really see Imperial officers using their blasters too much, except maybe in that scene in the first Star Wars in the prison cell block. But he has, and it looks like it would be like an expensive blaster, like a valuable one. Very cool figure. I do like this one. And then I have Admiral Holdo, and she is the controversial character from The Last Jedi. And I think I've shown this in a different video. But the likeness is really good. And you could have her and Poe argue endlessly about the plan and not communicating. So it is just a movie. But I still think the details on the figure were good, down to her outfit. A lot of people were upset that she was wearing this outfit instead of a uniform. But I think, and I don't know, my theory is that at some point she was assigned, she was given the command, and she never had time to put a uniform on. And I think what they were trying to show was that she was called away from something. She was in her quarters, or she was on a date or something like that. That was what the point was. So, but I don't think it mattered to a lot of people anyway. I think that there was a lot of things about the character that probably rubbed people the wrong way. So we have these action figures. Now I am going to put this minifigure here, and I've got some coffee as usual. So next I want to open this set, which I found at Ollie's for $12.99. This is a Marvel Studios, the first 10 years Legends, and it's Thor and Lady Sif from the Dark World. And I finally have a Thor figure that has a hammer. The only other Thor I have is one from Ragnarok, where he has the swords in the arena. So I feel like I have an actual Thor at this point. And let's read the back. Thor, side by side with his childhood friend Sif, Thor strikes down the marauders on Vanaheim, seeking to bring peace back to the Nine Realms. Sif, a longtime ally of Thor and a powerful Asgardian warrior, Sif battles with a double-bladed sword and a keen understanding of her enemies. And there's the poster. And so spoiler alert here, if you haven't seen Adventures Endgame, or if you haven't seen Ragnarok, or any of the recent Marvel movies, but for the beginning of the Thor movies, his comrades were Lady Sif and the Warriors 3. So, we never saw what happened to Lady Sif, though. We never saw her fate, so there's this good possibility she'll be back. The actress who plays Lady Sif is in that movie with the girl with all the tattoos. Blind Spot, I think is what it's called, and that's a TV show. But anyway, we might see her again. And the inside of the packaging is really nice. It's got a picture of the Mark I Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, Thor, Thanos, the inside of the shield helicarrier where Captain America's outfit was at, the Quinjets, Thanos again. Is that Ant-Man? That's Doctor Strange. Anyway, so let's take a look at these figures. First, I'm going to remove the accessories. Okay, so here's Thor, and it doesn't look so much like Chris Hemsworth, in my opinion. My other Thor looks much more like him. It doesn't. I mean, they just didn't get it. It's just not him. There's something missing. He looks mean. He doesn't look. Chris Hemsworth has like this sort of friendly look about him, and this just doesn't say Chris Hemsworth to me. And that's really kind of sad, because even the 3 3/4 inch figures managed to look like him. His hammer. It has some of the details, but I thought there was supposed to be some engravings or some scroll work on it. Interestingly, the only other hammer I have is the one that Hela's holding. I'm just going to compare it. The one she's holding is much smaller. It looks much different. The handle's different. So this hammer is a larger hammer. And see if I can work that hand open a little bit. Okay. Now he does look good holding the hammer. Like in that pose. Some details I like about this figure is the inside of his cape has like sort of flock texture, and the outside is smooth. So it's like the movie. Like the inside is kind of a velvety, and the outside is more like satin or silk. He has good articulation. The hair is kind of flowing, so it's in pieces. It's not just one piece, which looks good. His cape is on really well. He's got all of the good Marvel Legends articulation. You can see where all the armor is strapped on. He has that chest articulation. Nothing in the waist because he has the tunic, but his legs, his boots, and ankles have articulation. He could still sit. It looks like on the back, that's my cats. They're behind me, and since I'm making a video, they're gonna make noise. So, sorry about that. Okay, and still pretty good figure. Kind of wish that there was some kind of detailing on the hammer, because I thought there was, but maybe I'm wrong. And I just don't like that face. It just doesn't look like Thor. Now let's look at Lady Sif. Now they did get her face. They nailed her. They got that perfect, because that looks just like the actress. This is a really, she's just a really pretty figure. I mean, the armor is shiny. The red contrasts so nicely with the dark and the silver. It just looks really, really sharp. I really, really like this figure a lot. She has this very small shield. And I wonder what the best way, maybe taking a hand off and putting it on her. No, you can hear my cats going at it. That's my girl cat growling at the boy cat. That's how they play. I don't think that will work like that. So let's look at her accessories. She has these sword blades, and you can kind of go Darth Maul on two of them, I think, to make a, yeah, so you can have this sort of double-bladed sword and then another sword here. So what I'm looking for are places to put these so you could display her with it all. That would be nice. And I don't see any like loop or anything. I wonder if, I think that's probably the best you can do. It's like this. So I think that still can display really nicely between the two of them. This is a really, really cool looking figure. I have to admit, I think she's better looking than the Thor. Oops. Let's take a look at this shield. It does have a lot of detailing on it. On the back, the handles. I really wish there was a way to I don't think that's it. but how you end up displaying it is up to you. Her articulation is great. The ball hinge neck, the ball jointed neck, ball hinge shoulders, swivel chest. She has a tunic, but she has swivel, well, actually ball hinged hips, kneecap, ankle joints, kneecap, knee joints, and ankle joints that are ball hinged. Gonna find a way to do this shield right. It is a really cool little shield though. And you can just see the good quality of these figures. He also has that chest articulation. Oh, I mean, Marvel and Star Wars are both Disney. So I wish his finger would get into that trigger a little bit better. They can finally have the confrontation. This is also a really good look if you haven't gotten it. One of the cooler parts about it is you can take the blade out of the lightsaber and you can hang the lightsaber from his belt too, and it looks very natural when you pose it. And he has the removable binoculars here. The only thing is, I don't know if the face is too terribly right, but it's not awful. You could put this so it doesn't get lost. I always worry about moving these things too much, like these straps and stuff, because they will break over time. These are really meant to be displayed, because over time they will break. This plastic doesn't last forever. One thing I like about this is the goggles, the boom mic, the microphone boom here. It just really looks good. And these figures really do look really good. Definitely good. Let me get a little coffee. Not forgetting my favorite find, which is Chell. Just a really cool figure. All of these are high quality, high standard. Definitely recommend them. if you're a collector and if you like to display your figures. So anyway, I guess I'll wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back again with more. So if you haven't done so, subscribe. That helps my channel a lot if you like what you see, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. That also helps. And click the bell icon if you want to hear more about when my videos are coming out. Stay in touch. Leave a comment. I do answer my comments. It might take me a few days, but I do answer them. So and I appreciate all of them. So anyway, I hope to hear from you, and thank you. Until next time, bye.